People once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes, something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it, and the soul can't rest. Then sometimes, just sometimes, the crow can bring that soul back to put the wrong things right.
These are the opening lines to 1994's The Crow, based on the comic book of the same name. This is one of the greatest superhero movies ever to have been released. Minor spoiler warning for the rest of this video. I will be going into direct plot points. The movie's been out for 30 years. I do apologize though. The Crow follows Eric Draven, a man who has been murdered as 1 year exactly after the date of his murder, Halloween night. He comes back to life as the Crow, a spirit of vengeance, to allow him to seek revenge and kill those that murdered him and his fiancée. Now, this movie is incredibly straightforward. Eric gets brought back to life in the beginning. He goes after and takes out all of the people that wronged him specifically, does one final thing before he has to return to the grave, because the dead are not allowed to remain with the living. He knew when he was brought back that this was a limited time offer. He was only brought back to do what was needed to be done. This movie is incredibly fun. The movie also does a fantastic job with visual storytelling. When Eric is first brought back to life, he spends a lot of time kind of stumbling around, trying to get his bearings, because obviously, while remembering who he is, we get flashes back to his old life as he's doing this, and it's a really cool way of visually showing his confusion and him kind of coming back to himself as he takes in more information. It also leads to the funniest thing I can think of, window gymnastics. And part of this visual storytelling, Eric at multiple points comes across moments of joy in this world. Moments of happiness that either remind him of who he was or the life he had, even in this incredibly bleak and dark and just fucked up city that they live in. This city has a holiday called Devil's Night. Even without that, there's still joy and happiness in the little moments. And one of the cool things is that every time Eric encounters one of these, or he has a memory to one of the happier moments of his life, this movie does a freeze frame on that moment of him being happy. A kind of visual representation of remembering and enjoying the small moments.
Fire it up! 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 Are we having fun or what?
They are entertaining in their psychotic nature. All of the villains are. That's where the fun, quote unquote, parts of this movie come from. The just incredibly entertaining stupidity of the villains. Also, psychotic villains are just always fun to watch. You will never change my mind on this because I am objectively correct here. The crazier the villain, the more entertaining they are. Holy fuck, are they absolutely insane. The main villain of the head boss of the organization dude that effectively ordered the murdering of Eric and his fiance, he just kills people for fun. He wants to make Devil's Night bigger because he's grown bored with it for some reason. He's so much fun. He's also absolutely but insane. The few interactions he has with Eric are absolutely hilarious, and I love them.
Quick impression for you. Call, bang! I'm dead!
I love crazy villains. They will always be the most entertaining villains to me. Beyond that, the action and choreography is, for the 90s, really good. And I can follow all of it. Everything's well shot. It's well put together. Even if it's not the most advanced choreography in the world, I'm not watching Eric do flips and tricks over the bad guys' heads to kick one of them in the face while throwing another one into another guy. That's fine. I don't need it to be that. It needs to be simple. Eric doesn't take bullet damage. He can survive a bullet shot. So, naturally, his fighting style doesn't need to be that over the top. He can just tank bullet shots. It might push him backwards because he's still affected by physics, but he can just walk into bullet fire and keep going and keep fighting. It's incredibly entertaining because it makes it kind of this unstoppable force thing. Also, every single one of his kills is, for the most part, incredibly creative. They're a lot of fun. And the final battle scene taking place in a church, which starts off with one of the coolest f***ing shots just ever. Hands down, it is amazing. So cool to see. It's a lot of fun. And then the final fight goes to the top of the church, and it's just is great. And then at the end, when Eric like has to go back, perfect fucking symbolism. I love all of the actors in this movie. Like I said, the guy that plays the villain, absolutely incredible. I love a solid psychopath. Ernie Hudson, he's a lot of fun. He's great. And I think Brandon Lee did an absolutely phenomenal job. As pretty much everyone knows at this point, Brandon Lee was unfortunately killed on the set of The Crow when a blank firing gun went off too close to him. It was a very unfortunate mistake and it was very sad. I very much wish Brandon Lee had survived. I would have loved to see more movies from him in the future. I think he was a great actor, and this movie is absolutely amazing and 100% helped and elevated by his performance in it. But with all of that, everything being taken into account, the visuals, the acting, the storytelling, all of it being 100% absolutely amazing in my opinion, and just super fun and entertaining to watch. For me, this movie rolls a natural 20. It's super entertaining. It is so much fun. If you haven't seen this movie, I would say go watch it as soon as you can. It is absolutely phenomenal. Got that, Zane? I gave it a natural 20. See? We're good. You don't need to watch the rest of this. Have a good day. That is all I have for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to follow me on any of my socials, links to all of those are going to be in the description down below as always. But that is all that I have. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you all in the next video. Alright, now that he's gone, I can tell you how I actually feel about The Crow. Ah, shit.